was your tips? That intro was much more Irish than I thought it was going to be, but that's fine. Daggy and Beaver are with you to talk about some Group 1 racing. We've got Randwick and Flemington this week. What's happening, mate?
Mate, just firing away, getting ready for the weekend. Glad it's Friday, and glad that will be the end of the week.
Certainly is the end of the week, Beaver. I'm glad you've been paying attention.
Thank you for confirming.
Yeah, good insight.
I feel like it's been a long one, so
yeah, no, fair enough. We've got, as I said, Randwick and Flemington to look at. Flemington has the 10:45 start tomorrow with the heat, perhaps jumping a little bit at shadows, but they do what they got to do. Every time they seem to change the times for stuff like that, it ends up 28 degrees and lovely, but whatever. Where do you want to start, Randwick or Flemington? Didn't even ask you that.
Let's rip into Randwick, mate.
All right, that's good. That's what I'm looking at. We'll start at Randwick and we'll get to Flemington. So Randwick Guineas Day. Track is in a good condition there. It'll be good. There was supposed to be some drizzle around this morning. Don't think they got lots. 3-metre rail. All systems go. Probably the fairest rail position. Not too many tricks there I've treated it as. And we're going to kick off with the mile midway, benchmark 72. And what an extravaganza we've got opening the program. Could you find a winner, though?
Mates, no, it was pretty difficult to find a winner in this, I think. 750 the field. I'm going to stick with Electrica if it gets a start here, around the $12. I tipped it last start and it flashed home for second. Almost got there. Gets 3 kilo claim here. If it gets a start, could be hard to beat. Main dangers, our Marianne. Think it can run well. And Satnus broke through last start. I think it's not without a sneaky chance.
I don't like gate 1, but I'm going to give Mahagoni another chance here. Be coming back from proper metro grade, chase glory days, and then cross the line next to Logan Street line last time out chasing. Who won that? Redstone Well, double figures. As I said, gate 1 probably going to be back and buried, but Dylan Gibbons has been a bit of an escape artist from there lately, so I'll find out there. Just because that lead up was so bunched, and I like Electrica out of it. We've got to see it get a run. Molly Burke's booked, so they're going to claim a little bit off. I suppose it's a danger. And I thought Olympic Theatre's going okay, but gate 22, you know it's going to be back and last and perhaps flashing home. So my predominantly best result here will be Mahagoni, and I might play around with a couple of Electrica and Olympic Theatre should they both get a run here. Second on the card is the Reisling Stakes, 2-year-old fillies, Group 2 level, 1,200 metres. And we see the Magic Millions winner, Todman Lizzie, return here. And that's why I've gone in the second. I think it just cruises across, takes the lead, and keeps going. I don't know who else is going to put pressure up front, and not quite sure who else is going to chase it down. I'll make the main danger Extreme Diva. I said it'd run all right last week. Backing up again. It'll run well again here. Same as Erno's Cube. They go round and round, but they're honest enough, and they'll probably finish in a prize money.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I was sticking with Todman Lizzie. Probably going to speed across here and lead, as you say, and it's going to be hard to catch. One would have thought here had a softish trial, and there doesn't look to be too many chasers. Maybe Erno's Q has been running around in some good company.
The third is a 2,000 metres Randwick City Stakes, a listed race here. Who do you like in this one?
Another fairly ordinary race here, pretty hard to line up. I'm going to stick with Redstone Well. I think it can improve off last start. Pace didn't really suit. There wasn't a lot between them all as they crossed the line here, and this isn't a difficult race. They're backing it up after running last week. That suggests to me that it's eaten up okay and can run well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Canberra Legend. I think it probably feels a little bit short here, but good resumption. Sat wide, resuming for the Wallace stable, and run under its belt with improvement. Stalking barrier again for Karen. I think will run well. Armenia is now third up, working towards a win. Did improve again last time out. And I'll have a small...
Armenia's scratched, mate.
Oh, it is out? Okay. It is too. Cool. Yep, 10-cent deduction there. I'll have a small each-way ticket on Torrens at 30, so I'll probably get better on a day. But Honest Little Horse may run a place. I just couldn't get warm about anyone else, so I didn't. We'll move on. Fourth is the listed Fireball, 1,100 metres. And an interesting one. I'm not usually that enthusiastic about horses off a year off, but Geez, Red Resistance has come back and trialled really well. Proper horse. Only time it's tasted defeat was just a cylinder when it was flying. Pushes over here with Keenan, and I think it'll be enough for it to hold on, and probably a target race to get up and going again. So I'm going to go with it and put it on top. And a lot of these, I'm not going to spend much more time talking about. Confess Our Dreams going to early quarter because I think it still has some upside. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I thought the same as you. Although a year off, its form prior to that was pretty impressive against some quality horses, and the trials suggest that it was up and ready to go. I don't think the price is too bad considering, and if it's anywhere near its best, it'll be taking care of these.
Yeah, well, ultimately you're betting if it's come back in one piece, I suppose.
That's exactly right.
The fifth is the Todman, the boys' 2-year-old lead up to the Slipper, and a good race. We're probably going to learn a little about this one. Who do you like?
Yeah, good race. Top 5 here will tell us a lot about the last starts. They've all sort of, a couple of them have gone around against each other in separate races. I'm going to go for Switzerland. I just like what I see with it. Like the price at $4. I think Switzerland and Straight Charge probably should be fairly close in the market. Got the J-Mac Waller combination there. Luck in running, speed's going to be a key there, but I think a lot of these could go over the line together, but Switzerland for me.
I've gone the same way. I think this is a top horse. I think it's a very live Slipper chance. Obviously, Stormboy the one to beat, but it in one of those big fields where it's stalking, I think this will be a live chance. I think it'll do the job here and catch Straight Charge and put us all on notice. Straight Charge, obvious danger, map favours, and was impressive last time out. And just interesting to see where that Melbourne form might stack up with Bodyguard coming back up, but I've got that a rung below the rest of the Sydney 2-year-olds, in my opinion, here. The 6,000 metre challenge stakes, and which is, what is it? Wait for Age Group 2. And it looks pretty straightforward to me. I thought that was a really good resumption for Private Eye, chasing the best sprinter in the world, made her work, and comes back, gets Nash, rolls forward, wins. I think it looks a very nice play here around the 5-4 mark. Main danger, Remark, fresh is good. Trials were good again, as they always are. And we'll give it a race. The rest of these, I would want to see tick over. Actually, quite a hollow race more, I think about. Obviously, Pass Aggressive in Another Life had some ability, but it's now coming off an injury setback and retirement and whatever else has happened along the way. We'll watch and learn on that. But if you're getting black figures Private, I think it's more than a fair bet here.
Yeah, I thought the same. And if you're getting 5-4, that probably looks a good price. As you said, Remarks a quality horse and goes well fresh. Cabin and Passive Aggressive are the two that you probably just, as you said, need to see again before you want to back them. We know they've got ability, but they're racing top liner here. Need to see a bit first. Private Eyes looks a pretty solid bet.
Quaddy starts with the Group 1 Wait for Age Canterbury Stakes, 1,300 metres, and we can add another garbage Group 1 to the Autumn Carnival because it's another underwhelming one. Is there one hope again?
There is only one hope. I think about it. Probably run backwards here and should win this. Hard to go against it, really, at even money. I thought Private Eye was a good price. I think this is even better at even money in this race.
What's with the drift? First up, 1,300. Is that the only knock?
No idea.
Cool.
I can't work it out.
Black odds is good odds.
It's an ordinary field.
Yes, this is an average field. Malkovich will go forward. Leigh Laguna will tag it. Cole Crusher will go for third up. This would have been a target, I assume. They'll all run fine, but think about it in the conversation for best horse in Australia. Trolls were good. Can't knock them either. So, yeah, like I said, if we get $2, happy days, bet up and move on, I reckon. Okay, we will move on to the 1,600.
I've already said what I had to say, mate.
Sorry. 1,600 metre Randwick Guineas is up next. What have you had to say here?
Yeah, no, interesting race here. I kind of narrowed it down to 2. I went for Militarize. I just liked the first up run. It was pretty good. It was behind Fangirl. That's good form for a race like this. Gets the extra trip now, wanting further. Good second up form. goes good at this track. Track and distance suits, and everything in its favour. Great draw. Probably 230 is a little bit shorter than what I thought you might get, but I'm still happy that I think we've got a winner here. I thought the main danger was NCAP, third up. I thought the first 2 runs were pretty good, and I expect it can run well in this.
I am going to make the case that those first 2 runs for Tom Kitten have been complete tick over trials and ready to explode third up. We saw the same last prep when we sort of had an opinion. Won that race fresh last prep, but then had those couple of nothing happening runs and then exploded once it got out past the mile. I think this is going to be its race, and then probably onto a derby, I suppose, after this. But $7 Nash sticking. I'm going to put it on top. Militarize probably must look obvious chasing Fangirl coming back from the open company there. And there's not else I want to talk about. My main, having done the form on these and having seen how impressive Celestial Legend was in that lead up, I was sort of going away from that race. So I'm just going to say that beyond the fact that it was just a barrier trial for Tom. So if we get the real Tom, I think it'll win. If we don't, we might have to worry about it again for the rest of autumn. The 9th is a couple of interesting races to finish the card, but the Mostyncopper quality is next. Fillies and Mares over the mile. Group 3, and I am going to say that it was a nice resumption from Thalassophile. Feels like this couple of these favourites do feel a bit short, but good resumption, better second up. Straight back to Mares grade. J-Mac on Swooper's Gate will run well. Levade, obvious, sort of same. I went looking for a trick shot. I'm not sure I could really find one. The one I wanted to find was Gan Teorainn, who was pretty good last prep. Now second up for Waller, first up, second prep for Waller. But the trials I couldn't take much out of, but we get that from Chris Waller Trials. I'll have something under 20s. Perhaps it can elevate from that first up prep. And I'll get to my quality numbers later. A few others I might throw in, but tricky race, Beaver. What do you think? You're on mute, buddy. Yeah.
Sorry, no.
That's right.
Very tricky race. I thought the same as you. Plenty of chances here. Like, it's sort of, when you get past the top 3, the prices get quite appealing here. But I've kind of settled on Thalassophile.
Yeah.
I thought its first up run was pretty good. Liked the way it hit the line. I think the 1600 metre suits here, getting the extra 200. I think there'll be there'll be natural improvements. Gate 9's okay and can run on from midfield, but there's plenty of chances here. Yankee Hustle has won 3 in a row. There's no reason it won't give him something to chase, and if there's anything with leader dominance, that'll run well. And I thought City of Lights was good first up.
Yep.
Not without a sneaky chance. Open race.
Beautiful. The good thing is when we get our quaddy, we're skinning up a couple of legs. So the Vegas and Lane is the second and third, fourth leg, I should say. Which the fourth leg is the Wenona quality. Group 3 again for the 4-year-old plus mares, 1,200 metres, and very interesting that Called Eyes going to Joe Pride will be winning races. His prep, not sure it's the one just yet. Who do you like here?
Yeah, another race that's really hard to pick the eyes out of him here. I settled on 2. I've gone for number 15, Rainbiel, third up after a spell here. Thought its resumption was quite good. Got a bit far back over the 1,000 and ran on nicely to only be a length behind Brudenell. That was a bit of a blanket finish. And then last start was less than a length behind Red Card. I thought that was a pretty good run as well, finishing off that race nicely. I don't think the extra 100 hurts it, and has the right draw here. So I think it can run well from Tintuki. Tintuki's been racing against some decent horses. Boxed on quite nicely last start up the inside, didn't quite get out, and then had to try and come along the rails when some of the other horses had a bit more momentum up going past it. Hopefully it settles a little bit further back. I thought it might have settled a bit close last start. But yeah, I think it's a progressive type and probably can run well in this race as well.
I found Rainbiel on top as well, for all the reasons you said. I think now Joe's got his teeth into her. She's running really well. We saw her in a previous life early on. She was quite a talented mare, and now a couple of preps down up in Sydney has done wonders. As I said, really looking forward to seeing what he'll do with Cold Eye, but maybe not just yet. And I'm going to throw a few at value into the quaddie, which I'll get to soon. Next best, Miss Hellfire, who's just honest to be in the right spot as always. And that Lady Laguna form is more than fine. Speaking of the quaddie, where are we here? Let's go. First leg, I'm going to go 1 out to think about it. Second leg, 1 Militarised, 2 Tom Kitten, 3 Celestial Legend. Third leg, 1 Thalassophile, 2 Little Mix, 4 Lekvate, 6 Gan Teorainn, 11 Yankee Hustle, 14 Principessa, 18 City of Lights, 19 Awesome Wonder. And we'll come home with 4... We will not do that. We'll go 5 Lady Di. Call Die, sorry. 6 Wee Nessie, 8 Rosetta, 9 Overriding First Up for Doyle if it runs here. Miss Hellfire, number 11, 13 Tintookie, 15 Rainbiel. A split or two, and at 50-odd% of that quaddie might pay all right. My best, while we're going, will be the Joe Pride pair. Race 6, number 1, Private Eye, and race 7, number 1, Think About It. My value, struggled to find a real one at value to really stamp, but as I said, maybe Gan Teorainn can resume at a price and run well here. What are you thinking? Mute again, mate. You're on a good moment.
My best is race 7, number 1, Think About It. My clear on topper should be winning, and my value comes up in race 10, number 15, Rainbiel.
Lovely. Let's head to Flemington, where, as discussed, it is hot. We've got the early start, and at 10:45, rail in the 4 metre position, but not a bad card. A reduced card, 8 metres, 8 races, and we're going to kick off with an 1100 metre listed race here, and I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Adrian. Flemington, sorry, just flicking over my notes.
That's right.
Race 1, number 4, Hedged. I've got on top. Resuming here, liked what it did when last in work. Had 5.5 months off, it's been gelded. I expect it to run well here. It's got some good quality runs in group company after winning its maiden behind V8, only finished 1.6 lengths off it there. Then went to an open class race at Sandown, won quite nicely there, kicked their brains in actually, won by 4 lengths. Sent for a spell, resumes here. I think it can be hardest to beat. I think the 260 is a fair price.
It is a fair price, but my top tip's going to be Gumdrop's stablemate. Nice horse I've always had an opinion of. Trials have been fantastic this time in, and you're getting the best part of $8 each way to play in this race. And I think is all but those top 2 a midweek race. So very happy. I may even cover both if we can get the prices I'm looking at now for both of them. I think I'll get a result. I don't think there's much else to talk about. It's a great way to start the card. The Australia Cup Prelude is next. Race 2, we've got 7 greeting the judge. Suppose I'll put Little Werther on top, or Young Werther on top. It was all right last time. It probably leads here for Blake Shin, or Damien Lane, as I call him. And if he does, I think it'll win. That form's fair enough. Faulkner Park resumed okay in that Wellwall race, but probably needs another win. Beaver? Mute again.
Sorry, mate, we've got some background noise here, so I've been muting. I've gone for Faulkner Park. I thought the first up run was quite good. I like that it's been taken down to Melbourne. I think it's a progressive type. Ran some really nice races when last in work. I just find Young Werther hard to catch, and I thought at 225 it was a bit skinny. So I just went for the improver up-and-comer Faulkner Park.
The third is the 1,400 metres for the 3-year-olds. Who have you found here?
Yeah, look, this was a super tricky race. I really found it hard to line some of this form up here. I settled on number 2, Scully,
yes,
at a bit of value.
Yep.
Thought the first up win was very good. I think some of, been longer odds in its last 2 races, but they were better company than this. And
I loved its last start. It's fantastic.
Yeah, ran a nice third in the Group 3. Finished off quite nicely there at hundreds. I think it presents nice value for this.
I agree. Crossed the line with Brave Mead last time. Brave Mead, what price did it be here? 250. It
Yep.
Yeah, not much more to add. I sized up making it my best today. Really keen. And I think Ursa's been forgotten. Before it got out to a distance last time in, it was ultra impressive, fresh, and can run well again here at 20s. I like the race and keen to play both of those. The fourth is the Size Produce Stake, 1,400 metres, Group 2. And I am going to put Traffic Warden on top without a great deal of confidence, but I'm siding with the fact it stayed out of that hectic speed up on pace and kept fresh for this. Was just picking him off late. I think it has 1,400 metres written all over it. Nice education coming here. I think it runs well. Obviously, Stay Focused was there for all to see last time out, hanging in tough on that pace, but whether it pulls up and whether it settles up on pace now, having rode that Blue Diamond, we'll see at 1,400 metres. So that's my slight concern about it. And one at a bit of a price I'm going to spec will be Evaporate, who has 1,400 metres written all over it. New Zealand breeding. I've liked the fact it's got warmed up late at 1,100 metres. I think it's going to be ready to go for this, and there's fresh blood on the scene. Who have you gone with here?
Yeah, look, this is, I thought Stay Focused here looked clear standout pick. I thought its first up win in open company was pretty good, won by 2 lengths at Geelong, then went straight into group company. Wasn't far off him in the Group 3 behind Bodyguard, who we've pinpointed in a quality race up at Randwick, and then came out in the Group 1 and wasn't far off him there. Sat on the pace and kept giving. I think might have it a little bit easier here, and I thought it was going to be hard to run past.
Yeah, fair call. The feature is a Newmarket Handicap, which will take place around lunchtime tomorrow. Group 1 up the straight. And tell me what I'm missing here. Imperatriz started shorter last time against just as tough a field, if not a stronger field, with Private Eye being there. Why is it a longer price?
I don't know. Has it lost a leg?
Weight is the only thing I could work out.
I couldn't work it out either, because there's a fair few here that you can put a line through. Clear on top for me. At 250, pretty hard to go past, right? Venus and Nachos didn't show a lot first up. Obviously, there's a
I was very disappointed first up.
But it's pretty ordinary. Magic Times obviously goes well fresh. Good horse, and I think it's potentially the main danger here. Outside of that, I couldn't find too much. Benedetta was the next best for me, nearly at 20 to 1. Thought that was probably a little bit overs. Imperatriz clear on top for me.
Yeah, it's on top for me as well. As I said, black odds is good odds here. I'm sticking with it. What else am I going to talk about here? I think Shagrippa will improve. Wasn't in the best part of the track real wide there at Caulfield. And I think back up the straight where it's been very impressive, can run a place. And I thought Master Fay was interesting just because it's unbeaten and they've bought it here and its 2 wins looked good to the eye in New Zealand, and I don't know how good it is, but I'm just talking shit. So we'll move on.
It's nothing new.
Yeah. 6 is 600 metre Kewney Stakes, another group race here for the girls. 3-year-old fillies. And getting to the stage now, it's absolute last chance, but Molly Nickers was good first up, has mile written all over it, and the fact it's come straight here, I think it's going to be here to run really well. From Autumn Angel, who was a complete horror watch first up, and now as Mark Zara will improve and is a main danger. I thought about actually putting it on top. I think it will run really well here. Outside of them, I don't know who else to really make a case for. Into You, ultra impressive, a couple of midweeks, and fresh blood into these 3-year-old ranks isn't a bad thing. So maybe next best. Who'd you go with?
I went for Autumn Angel.
Yeah.
As you stated, last start before it went out was pretty good. Beating a decent horse in Tropical Squall, who came out and won last week in Sydney. So that form line lines up here. was a bit of a horror watch, as you said, first up, where, backs up here. I think that's a good sign, and I think it's going to be super hard to beat here. I've got it on top. Grizinger Bell, I think it can continue to improve. It's a nice win first up.
Excellent. 1,400 metres, Group 3, Shaftesbury Avenue Stakes is up next. Who have you found in this weird race, really?
It is a bit of a weird race. I've stuck with the favourite in Amenable. Gilbert now returning. I think he can run really well in this. I think this suits, goes well first up and fresh. Plenty of improvement here. Has ran in a Group 1 company and usually sits pretty close to the pace, and therefore I think that it's fairly bomb-proof in that sense. Main danger, Pinstripe. Has a great finish, runs well fresh, and could get the last shot on him.
I've missed Amenable first up's the last couple of preps, so I'm not going to miss it here. I think it's trialled fantastically again. Damien Lane sticks with it. I think it'll win from Savannah Cloud, who was very good sitting outside lead first up. That was outside Jimmy Star and just nabbed late. It was brave there and can run well again here. But a few of our favourites are resuming or second up with perhaps an eye to something further down the road. The Mile Matron Stakes takes us home. 4-year-old plus mares again. Group 3, not enough of them for these mares. I ended up putting... Just look at this map. She's still here. Here. Ended up putting Unusual Culture on top because I couldn't find a great deal of other pace. And I'm going to say coming back from Wait for Age to this, to mare's grade, should be a tick. Led up Campionessa and Co. last time out. Does the same here and can hold on and run well. From Eternal Flame, probably obvious, nice return. And Foxy Frida was a nice return too. So they're all alive, but they all take turns in this grade. So not like I want to really steam in. Who have you found?
Yeah, I thought Unusual Culture was one of the hardest to beat, but I've gone for Foxy. Yeah. One of the horses I do like to follow, like to back. It's 110 out of 31 with 8 placings. Goes all right. Second up's ran okay. First up has won 4 out of 10 at this track, 2 out of 3 track and distance. Sold all suits, and with natural improvement, I think it can run over the top of them. Unusual Culture, hardest to beat.
Awesome. We've got the early finish for the quaddie here. Do you want to tell us your quaddie numbers?
I certainly will. Race 5, the first leg, I've gone for number 1, Imperatriz, number 2, Bella Nipotina, number 6, Magic Time. In the second leg, I've gone for number 2, Sassy Boom, number 4, Grizinger Bell, number 5, Autumn Angel, number 6, Molly Knickers. In the third leg, race 7, I've gone number 3, Amenable, number 2, Pinstripe, and number 10, Von Hawk. And then to finish off, I've gone number 1, Foxy Frida, number 3, Unusual Culture, number 6, Foxy Cleopatra, and number 10, Eternal Flame.
Lovely. Your best in value?
My best bets, hard to go past, race 5, number 1, Imperatriz. I think it'll be winning. And my value comes up in race 3, number 2, Scully.
Awesome. What have we... my best is Imperatriz, race 5, number 1. Black odds, good odds, as I said. My value, race 1, number 3, Gumdrops. And I agree with Scully. I'm pretty keen. I think it's going to run really well. Just quickly, before we let it get to Queensland, tonight at the Valley, race 4, number 2, Philosopher, I think will win again. And race 5, number 3, Yarrawonga's down there. I think it'll win again as well. What's happening in Queensland? Where are we? Gold Coast?
Gold Coast, yeah. Not overly keen on the Gold Coast card, but I did find a couple for the punters. Race 4, number 1, Daytona Bay. I think it's going to be hard to beat. Race 5, number 1, Plundering. I think it can run well around the $5 mark. And then later in the day, race 9, number 1, Defiant Spirit.
Brilliant. Thank you, Beaver. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, punters. We'll be back next week. I'll check out, I spoke to Barn briefly the other day and did a couple of multis for the footy over the weekend, so check that out. That's on the YouTube channel as well. Leave us some feedback below. And as we steam towards a Golden Slipper, we'll keep going and be back next week. So take care, guys, and bye-bye.